Operation Market Garden was the largest airborne operation in history. It took place between September 17th and 25th, 1944. It was the brainchild of British Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery, although he took no major role in commanding the exercise. In charge of airborne forces was Lieutenant General Louis H. Brereton, and General Miles Dempsey was in charge of the armor. The objective was to secure the main highway from Belgium to the southern Rhine. It was the only passable route for Allied tanks to travel along. In charge of the enemy forces were classic villain-looking Gerd von Rundstedt and Walter Model. There was also a panzer unit stopping for maintenance in the area. They were damaged, but they were still able to take out Allied tanks. The Dutch resistance tried to warn the Allies about this, but they continued anyways, ignoring their warnings.
The first of their problems was the lack of planes. Even though this was the largest airborne operation in history, the Allies only had about 800 planes to transport troops, meaning that they had to scatter their drops over 3 days. And if you're reusing drop zones for several rounds of troops and then supplies, you lose the element of surprise that makes paratroopers effective. The next was poor drop zones. The heavy air defenses around Arnhem meant that drop zones had to be up to 8 miles away. The drop zones that were chosen for Arnhem were also not very defensible, and so many of the supply drops fell into German hands instead of Allied ones. A third problem was that Montgomery was so set on ensuring the operation went through, he refused to cancel another drop despite knowing these risks. Because of these mistakes, the German forces defeated the Allies and killed around 7,900 of their 10,600 troops that made it north of the Rhine River. Allied casualties totaled 17,000 compared to the 8,000 on the German side. If Operation Market Garden had been successful, the Allied forces in the West would have been able to quickly move in towards Berlin and end World War II sooner. Because it failed, the war was extended by several months, and the Soviets ended up capturing the city of Berlin and ending the war.